Today on the show, where we feature individuals who have left their primary disciplines to venture into something completely different, we meet Deyemi Okanlawon, who wear many hats, from selling bread to cakes and ending up an actor. Trained originally as an engineer, worked in different companies for almost a decade before leaving for something he is passionate about. In fact, he calls it life.
Well, so here we are at AfriNolly. AfriNolly is a creative incubator. It's an incubator for creatives, creative hub, and I spend a lot of time here so that so I can think and relax and strategize. And there's some really interesting people here. There's Jane Maduegbuna. Hello.
Hi, Jane. Hi. Good afternoon.
Yeah. So I spend a lot of time here. Yeah. So the books that we try to read. Hi, my name is Deyemi Okanlawon. I am an actor and entrepreneur. And today I'm going to be sharing with you, all the different hats that I wear. And I was in every play in primary school till I left in primary 6, I believe. Then I got into secondary school, joined the drama department, but secondary school was a bit different, so it kind of fizzled out. I was more interested in things that were a bit sporty and cool. University, it wasn't up until I think it was halfway through my university years that I came in contact with this young group of guys who it was actually a campus fellowship called Harvesters Company then. They're now Harvesters International Christian Center. And I joined the drama unit, drama and dance, and I had an amazing time doing that. Then upon graduating from school, I joined another church, Covenant Christian Center, and I was, I just gravitated towards drama. And there were 2 drama groups. There was the drama, music, and dance concerts called Extreme Reaction. There was a pure theater group called Snapshots, and I was a member of both. As a matter of fact, I was the head of the Extreme Reaction department, so to speak. So I've always, had this acting as a hobby. Yes, so acting was a hobby. It was a serious hobby. I took it really, really serious. But then I had my career going at the same time. So sometimes I'm at work, maybe 9 to 5, and then I'm done with work. I rush over to rehearsals, and I'm rehearsing sometimes till really late or really early in the morning, like 2 a.m. Go home, get some sleep, and go back to work the next day. There's a lot of shuttling around. Then I think sometime in 2010, random conversation, heard about an audition. I went to the audition and I got my first film role. As a matter of fact, while I was at the audition, there was another group of people in the audience who were looking to cast somebody in their short film, but they didn't have the money to put together an audition. So they came around and they were watching everybody doing the audition. And they called me up after the audition and invited me to take a role. And it was a lead role in a short film called A Grain of Wheat. The next year I did another 2 films. Then the New York Film Academy came into Nigeria with the Del York Academy, and I did the acting for film course. All this while I was still working a 9 to 5. I think it was sometime in August 2013 that I made up my mind, took the decision to go into acting full time. and I didn't really have to, because I wasn't raised to ask for permission to do what I wanted. So I never really felt the need to tell people what I was doing. I just let people see the results, and the results kind of speak for themselves. So I took a plunge, and the rest is history.
Thank you very much.
So as an undergrad, I would wake up very early in the morning, maybe 5:30, and then I get the supplies. The bus comes through with bread and cake, and I go across the university, and I'm distributing to my small retailers, and then I go take a shower and go to school in the morning. So literally nobody knew what it was I was doing up until Valentine's Day. Everybody knew I was the guy to come to for Valentine's cakes. So on campus, you get there in the evenings or night, and I'll project these really beautiful cakes on the walls of the hostels. I could go to different halls on campus, and I'll project the cakes and play some music, and people would just come flocking in, ordering cakes, and I had a great time. You see, and I just felt, hey, if I love doing this so much, it's something that I could do. Especially when the opportunity came to move. Right after school, I was still trying to do I hadn't done my NYSC. When the opportunity came to take up the sales and promotions manager position at this company called Baker's World. And so I did that for about 2 years. In fact, I did my NYSC there. So I was constantly shuttling, just to make it work. Then I left Baker's World to start my own company. I realized small businesses had issues with advertising. I was in charge of sales and marketing, and I had gone, the same thing I did in University of Lagos, I did in about 6 other universities, Babcock, Bowen, Covenant. I went to different Yaba Tech, Medilag, which is Luth, and I was doing the same thing now that I was, the manager there, and it worked. I met someone who had heard about the work that I'd done at Quicklinks, and he was now heading what was to become Dealfish, an online classified. So apparently, Quicklinks was an offline print classifieds, and then they were doing this online classifieds, called Dealfish, and they had heard about what I'd done, and they invited me to join the team. And again, I was about to leave my own business to do something else. Of course, the pay. Yes. So let me just add that every time I move around, when I say there's opportunity, it's also that the money there was interesting, and I would leave that. So I left Sales Target, and I joined Dealfish. Dealfish, a few years down the line, was bought over by OLX, and I was the head of marketing for OLX up until August, I think, July, August of 2013, when I resigned to act full time.
You, am I supposed to believe that?
Sir, are you dying?
So why acting?
Acting for me is life. When I was working my 9 to 5, I would do these stage productions or these film productions, and I found that every time after those productions, I had a lot of energy. So it felt like I used to get energy, creative energy from acting, and this was the energy that I was taking into the workplace. And you would see that there was a correlation between how much work I was getting done, or the quality of the work that I was doing, vis-a-vis whether or not I had just come off some acting gig. And so when it got to a point where I had to make a decision between a full-time career and life as an actor, it just made perfect sense, because I said to myself, wait a minute, I get life or energy out of acting, and I'm going to pour it back into acting. It just looked like a cycle of life, and I said, that's why I say acting is life. Mm-hmm. And it made perfect sense for me to make that transition, and that did it for me. And it's been the most interesting, probably the best decision of my entire life. One of the best decisions of my life. And it's been an amazing 5 years.
Do you miss engineering?
No, because it's here. I think like an engineer. My approach to character development is very, very similar to process design. Sales and marketing, the way that I go about handling my career, what I learned, from networking, from branding. Sometimes I look at myself as a product, and trying to figure out how best do I position myself, in the minds of producers and the audience and the media, to make for a better brand. That's it. Me personally, I don't know that for the acting profession itself. So there's several things that I could point out, but as an actor, I have absolutely no challenges, with my work, that is, with what it is I do, getting into character and becoming somebody other than myself. The challenges would be other things, First of all, remember, I studied engineering, and then I had this background in sales and marketing. So there's several people inside me, and I just can't be an actor, which is why I always introduce myself as an actor and entrepreneur, because I'm constantly looking for opportunities to add value wherever I am. So that's one of the challenges, is the fact that I can't function only as an actor. Another thing is we belong to an industry. Right now, the Nigerian film industry is still growing. We're still very nascent, very young, compared to other film industries that we get compared to. So we're still young, and we're still going through our teething issues. There's not much in terms of structure. First within the acting field, and then the film industry as a whole. So it can be really tough sometimes, especially because if there's no structure, then there's no real recognition, so to speak. There are no policies protecting people, and our work, and different things like that. The government hasn't gotten to a point where they realize or recognize the contribution of the industry to the GDP or to the economy, or to the people generally, and they haven't taken laws to protect and taken measures to protect the industry, from people who probably sabotage it. So those are some of the challenges that one could face as an actor. Yes, I did say that I'm constantly seeking where to add value. Constantly seeking where to add value. I believe that that we are on earth to fully explore all our talents and all our giftings. I don't think that one person should do one thing for their entire lives. So if I were being asked, yes, if I were to move from acting to a 9-to-5, I probably would, if I find something that really interests me. Would acting leave my life though? No, it wouldn't. Even if it's not full-time, it might just go back to being a hobby that I just enjoy doing, something I'm passionate about. So yes, as long as there's value to be added and value to be received in return, I'm all for it.
All unmarried women are liars and cheats, or just women in general?
Even married women.
Come on, dude, now, come on. Now that's taking it too far.
What?
Come on.
You think married women don't cheat and lie about it?
Well, I mean, it doesn't mean that there are not some married women who cheat and lie, but you're generalizing.
Hi guys, my name is Deyemi Okanlawon. I'm an actor and I'm an entrepreneur. This is not your regular 9-to-5, but it's my life. And I love it.